So, if you want the background, this is an Ardetha video talking about this could be the end of DBD, and Bubba's the face of this video. And I want to explain what happened if you're not on the in and you're not in the know. Recently, DBD Leaks, the Twitter, found that Bubba's perks were being put into, like, they're being renamed to be generic. I think was the... Essentially, they were being, like, taken out and having a generic version of them put in. Like how, you know, like Myers has versions of his perks that are technically, like, free, right? Like, Lori's face is not on Stabiffle, and it's just a generic person and stuff like that. So they have, like, so they're generic and they don't have to, like, there's no reference to the license. So they thought that, you know, Bubba was being taken out, Leatherface was being removed. DBD, Behavior's official Twitter, came out today and said that that's not a thing. That's not happening. Bubba's staying. They officially came out and disproved what the leaks were saying. Now, this video came out before today, obviously. So I'm interested to see what Ardetha says about how this could be, like, the end of DBD, and if it, like, there's any weight to what's being said here, if it is indeed about the Bubba situation. So I'm very interested to see. Let me just make sure that these are here.
If you've been playing DBD recently, you may have noticed yourself playing against significantly more Bubbas than usual, and it's no coincidence. While it may be a dream come true for some to play against more Bubbas, the overarching reason for this influx is far more sinister. In fact, this, alongside a few other factors which I'll be discussing in this video, have the potential to begin the downfall of DBD, and in an alarmingly short space of time too. It's important to clarify that I'm not saying DBD is a not alive game, or that the game is already on the decline, but the possibility of it happening soon is very real. So, if you're already...
So we started today with a video, which will be like 2 days ago for you guys on the YouTube, where we were talking about, like, how DBD is going to last probably, you know, 2 to 3, 5 years. And now we have Ardetha at the end saying that it's going to die really quickly. Differing opinions.
Heavily invested in the DBD community, then you may have heard that we will soon be losing the license to Bubba, just as we did with the unusual thing.
To make this clear, that was not true. Disproven. Very, very disproven. This was disproven on Tuesday. This past Tuesday, or today, for those of you live recording. Yeah, that's completely disproven.
Things license, which of course means that, just like the Unusual Things DLC, Bubba will no longer be available for purchase. The reason for this is due to the Texas Saw game being released soon.
Which is not correct.
As Bubba is the main attraction to that franchise, they're removing DBD's license in order to eliminate the competition when it comes to people getting their dose of Bubba. In response to this news, many players who didn't already own him are now buying him before he's gone, potentially forever. Of course, it doesn't take a genius to realise that losing licenses to sell DLC is a bad thing, but the ripple effects this causes brings on much more issues than you'd think. Each DLC is a resource for DBD to make money, and each DLC license lost is a revenue stream lost. With the possibility of losing licenses becoming an ever more present threat for Behavior, alongside the huge amount of money it costs for them to buy these licenses...
Well, it's not that... KJ, I don't think it's that he didn't do his research, it's just that everybody buys the leaks. Here, this is what I do a lot of these lately. We're gonna... Come here. Leaks are just leaks. You guys ever wonder why both on the Twitch and on the YouTube I don't really cover leaks that much? Like when this Bubba thing came out, I didn't make a video about it. You know why I don't do that? The reason I don't do that is because they are just leaks. And at the end of the day, these are not an official source. So you don't know if they're true or not. And people make fun of me for that, is that, like, I take every leak with a grain of salt, and I don't really try to put a lot of investment in them until they're true, until they're proven true. This is why. This right here, why, is a perfect example. Perfect example as to why. Because everybody, he made this whole video. About, like, how DBD is going to die soon. Based off of this news that didn't even end up being true. He made it a whole video about how DBD is going to die now. About something that's not even factual. It's not even real. Damn Daniel. Right though, thank you so much for the raid, friend. How was Scrims?
there is increased likelihood that this will be taken into account when obtaining new licenses and developing new DLCs. This could possibly result in less development time and money invested into licensed chapters in the future, which would of course mean a worse experience for the player base.
Extra shout out?
Well,
Yeah, you're doing good work, brother. You're doing good work. You make great content. You're a chill person. You do charity streams, like, of course.
That's a possibility. I don't expect that to be likely, as the money earned from selling these DLCs for only a few months probably pays for all these fees and leans well into the profit area. So if they end up losing the licenses years later, they already paid for themselves, so it was a worthwhile business venture. What is likely is you not being subscribed, as over 84% of people watching this aren't sub.
Yes, if take the time now, I'll even help you. I'll help you. Ardetha does make good, very, very high quality videos. If you are not subscribed, there's the YouTube link right there. Take about 2 seconds. 2 seconds out of your day. 2 seconds out of your time to go do that right this second. To go support. Oh, I need to close Cam Daniel's stream because now they're here. If you have not, please go sub to them, because the entertainment you're watching right now has been worked on and made through very, very incredible hard work from this person. So please go sub. And obviously, if you're watching on the YouTube part of this from the future, the original video link is always down in the description. I don't know if you look down and you see that. That's always down there. So please go support the official release, like they say in like fan dubs of things. Please support the official release. Good, the kitties have made themselves at home. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you've been doing well then, friend. I'm glad.
So if you enjoy, be sure to do so. So if I don't think that's the problem, what is the real threat? The era we're in right now is a weird time for licenses, franchises, etc. In the era of multiverses and license crossovers, it seems that every fictional world is being bled dry for all possible money it could earn via expanding into other forms of entertainment, and increasingly, that's the problem. What is the real threat? The era we're in right now is a weird time for licenses, franchises, etc. In the era of multiverses and license crossovers, it seems that every fictional world is being bled dry for all possible money it could earn via expanding into other forms of entertainment, and increasingly, we are seeing well-known horror brands expanding into the video game market. In a matter of months, we've already seen Ash and the Evil Not Alive franchise get its own game, and now Bubba too.
That's so crazy. They don't say, apparently there's been a big, huge, like big hit to content creators that say anything, like the word dead. Like, you're not allowed to say that anymore. Like, you know, you'll get demonetized. So, like, everybody's saying unalive by daylight or unalive or evil unalive because they're trying to avoid being demonetized, which is just so funny. Oh god, I didn't mean to do that.
And it's very likely that we'll be seeing other horror franchises joining them soon. But speaking of Ash, he is still in DBD completely untouched with no issues whatsoever, as they did not revoke Behavior's license to have him in DBD. While I think we're almost guaranteed to see more of these franchises released...
Red, if you haven't looked into it, YouTube like recently super tightened up their guidelines, and they started demonetizing people for saying that, and it's just really strange. I haven't been hit by it literally at all. Knock on wood, cross my fingers, but like, you can't say that anymore apparently, and it's really wild. Really wild. I guess we're just making YouTube literally only for toddlers, and that's literally it. I don't know.
Own games soon. What we don't know is whether or not they will renew Behavior's licenses or revoke them. While it's possible they can stay in DBD as DLCs with no problems like Ash, I think it's more likely we'll see them going, just like Unusual Things and Bubba, as it makes sense for them to want to bring down the competition. It just helps their game do better.
But they didn't.
For each license DBD loses, not only is that a revenue stream they lose, but overall interest in the game too. If it loses enough, it will go from that game where you get to play as and against some of the most infamous villains in horror history to that game where some sometimes, if you're lucky, if you're against a long-time player, you might get the chance to play exclusively against these villains. Which
How many demos have you run into since Stranger Things has been gone? You run into the survivors a lot, but like, how many times have you actually played against a demo while playing Survivor? Doesn't happen very often, does it? Doesn't really happen very often, does it? Where all the demos goes? One every few weeks? Yup. One every few weeks. A lot? Really? You played against a lot of demos? I can't remember the last time I played against a demo. Maybe it was like a week or two ago? Maybe? Yeah, like, I barely see that character anymore. So, yeah, you can enjoy that. Kind of. Once a month, maybe. But yeah, he's got a point there.
Much less appealing description. That means not only will they lose opportunities to make money, but they'll have less people interested in spending money on the streams that are available. Less interest means less players, which means less profits, etc, which can snowball into making it a not alive game. While everything I've just discussed is a very real possibility, it's not guaranteed. Behavior could keep most or even all of the licenses they still have now and everything will be fine. Or even if they do lose them, we have to wait and see what happens in the future to see which franchises do or don't make their own games and so on. But that is just one factor. What else could combine with this to create the previously mentioned perfect storm? Some of you may be aware of the new YouTube age restriction and demonetization changes that are controversial to say the least.
No,
while the changes are...
Nobody say a thing. I just realized, don't you say a single thing. Don't you say a darn thing. Stop it. Wait. I understand, okay? I understand that we're similar looking, alright? Haha, very funny. I'm gonna hear that till I'm literally unalive, since we're not allowed to say the D word. Yeah, I'm gonna hear that until I'm 6 feet under. Okay, we get it. Alright, we look similar. Alright, whatever. Get it out of your system. Ha ha ha.
Are supposedly mostly aimed to keeping the first 15 seconds of a video free of swear words, violence, etc. What's actually happening is that people are getting demonetized and or age restricted en masse for some of the most ridiculous reasons. Whether that be swearing too much at any point in the video, showing violent video games in the video, or even saying certain words that are perfectly family friendly but are unsuitable for advertisers. You might have noticed that not once in this video have I said DBD's proper name, or I've been avoiding saying the proper names of Bubba, Gordon, or Ash's franchises. Those weren't attempts at being funny or quirky, it's because these new YouTube rules have proven absolutely brutal for DBD content creators. Considering the entire game is based on horror themes and the unsettling subgenres of horror, DBD as an entire subject has become a game of Minesweeper almost overnight when it comes to YouTube. Show one wrong Mori or say one word that YouTube doesn't like and all of your work goes down the drain. Not only are creators starting to go unpaid for their work, but if it's age restricted, then it goes unseen too, as it won't get promoted on the algorithm. But DBD YouTubers don't make the game, so how is that in any way relevant to DBD itself? As with any game, having hype, interest and relevance on YouTube brings in new players and helps retain the interest of existing players, but this affects DBD far more than most other games out there, and that's due to the overall culture and community.
It affects its monetization, which the game already has its monetization. I get what he's saying, but like, I don't know. Honestly, if I got demonetized tomorrow, I would still make YouTube videos. Like, if everything started getting demonetized, I'd still make videos. I don't make it to make money. I make it because I like hanging out with you guys. I would still make it. I get what generally what he's saying is like, well, people will be less motivated to do it if they're not going to get paid for it. But like, I don't know, I just like spending time with people. Shooting the shit about my favorite game, so not my favorite game. That's Resident Evil 1 remake, but you know, top 20, a game I like a lot. So I would still make content
that's built up around it. Even in a dev stream back somewhere around 2017 to 2018, the devs themselves refer to the game as a streamer's game. While YouTube isn't as much of a titan in the streaming space compared to Twitch, the statement holds true for video content as well. Views on YouTube are what bring in views on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Ardetha, live Monday to Thursday by the way. And these devastating YouTube changes will undoubtedly bleed over to Twitch, if not immediately, then over time. Unless the new rules are relaxed or people find consistent ways to keep their videos from getting restricted, we might find ourselves seeing our favourite creators deem making DBD videos as unsustainable and moving entirely to Twitch or outright quitting. If DBD loses its relevancy in the wider internet culture, it will lose a lot of its steam in terms of players too. I mean, we're at the point now where the official DBD channel might end up finding its future DLC trailers getting restricted, and then its ability to even let people know there's a new DLC would end up being severely limited too. And this issue is far more immediate as it has already happened. I'm sure you might have seen your favourite creators even talking about how it has affected them. These two different factors, if combined, could very well lead to a swift downfall into irrelevancy for DBD. Maybe if we're lucky we'll find a video mode alongside streamer mode in the game settings that censors hooks and murrays and disables that red liquid that comes out of survivors when they're hit. Once again, I'm not saying the game is already on its way out, but these factors could well bring the end of DBD. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. If you have any other things you'd like me to discuss in a similar style to this video, be sure to let me know.
It's interesting because, like, you know, half of this is, like, not even true, right? Like the Bubba thing leaving is, like, that's not a thing anymore. Like the Bubba thing is, like, they disproved that. If you're somehow not in the know, let me bring this up. But I probably should have done this at the beginning of the video. But here's my proof. I explained it earlier, but here's my proof. We're referring to this. We're referring to, he's not going anywhere. And then it says Bubba there, and you're like, wait, does it mean 12? And then it's like, Leatherface is staying, and they say yes. So, yeah. They like, came out and confirmed that the homie is staying. So, yeah. So, like, I don't know, man. It's like, half of that wasn't even a thing that was actually happening. Like, half of that was, like, not even a real thing that was actually going on. The way I got started on Twitch was by following YouTubers who are moving out of constant strikes on their videos. Yeah, like, YouTube made a switch. YouTube made a switch from, you know, being the everyman company to being, like, you know, in the bed with corporations, so they care more about appeasing the corporations, so they stopped being about the everyman content creator. Now that's Twitch. At least currently it's Twitch. Twitch is more weird to say about a company that takes, like, literally half of your revenue. But, like, they care more about the everyman Twitch streamer. Or, like, they care more about content creators than YouTube does. So people move away. People have been moving away from YouTube. But I like doing both. Did you get a haircut? I have shaved the sides of my head. This was like 3 weeks ago. I shaved the sides of my head. Now that's a thing I do. Clean? Thank you. I've been insecure most of my life about putting my hair up. So I thought it was like a neat way to make me feel more confident about putting my hair up. It's like, you know, make it look cool by having the shaved sides, you know. So, yeah, making it work. Hey, you can be way more flexible here than you could ever be on YouTube. You can ever be. So, yeah, like, it's like, I get what he's saying. It's like, you know, it's important to have that community aspect, you know. But it's good to have that community aspect to DBD. I don't think that, like, demonetization is going to ruin DBD. Because, like, you know, like I said, like, you can still make videos. It just is if content creation is your job. It's kind of a problem. Like, some of the funny stuff you can't monetize. Some of the funniest stuff that's on the platform you can't monetize because it has, like, copyrighted music. Or it has, like, scenes from a movie. And that stuff does the numbers, right? That stuff does the numbers, and that's not monetized. And that keeps the popularity of the game. I think it just, like, could affect a lot of people. You know? Stream on TikTok 2 times before I got banned live for bullying. TikTok, I got shadow banned for dropping the F-bomb once. That was it. Then I got shadow banned for, like, a week. It's like, brother, relax. Relax. Make DBD for content for free? Yeah. And I think, like, you know, we live in an age, you know, obviously, where, like, people can make money off of this. Like, this isn't a hobby anymore. This is something people can do full time. But, like, unless this is your only revenue source, that, you know, Like, if YouTube's your only... Honestly, YouTube is trash as a revenue source. I'm just leveling with you. I'm leveling with you. YouTube is trash as a revenue source. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's absolutely dog. If you are still relying on YouTube as your main revenue source in 2023, it's because you're a giant content creator and it doesn't affect you. You are a giant content creator and it doesn't affect you. That's it. That's literally it. Like you cannot rely on YouTube. You know why I make YouTube? You know why I do the YouTube? The reason I do the YouTube is because that's a whole group of people out there that I know also care and think about the game the same way that I do. That like analyzing things, like getting invested in things, so like that sort of thing. And I want them to have that same conversation that we have here, because we talk all the time about how this perk's too strong, or this map's stupid, or like, I wish the game was more like this. But like, now I can have that conversation in two places with two completely different groups of people. I know there's a lot of overlap, which I appreciate when you guys overlap, but like, I can bring that same conversation we have on Twitch over there in a more condensed and clean form that isn't just like, oh, I'm reacting to something happening in a match, right? So it's like, you know, I can hit both ends there. That's why I do it. It's because I want to have that same conversation with somebody over there. So I have something to listen to while I cook at work, literally. Like I said this in one of my recent videos, I don't remember which one, but I was like, I'm not a big content creator. I'm really not. I suck. Like, if you're looking at me in terms of like popularity and like thriving, I'm not thriving. I am doing very poorly compared to most DBD YouTubers, or content creators in general, like Twitch and YouTube. I'm not doing well. I never have been, but like that's not what I want, right? Like I am a niche comfort creator, and I'm cool with that, right? Like, and as long as I can like help you pass a lunch break easier, or I can like give you something to think about while you're on break, like, I don't know, that's good for me, right? Because that's like what made me happy with content creating. Because like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm like, some of you do, is like, I'm a horrible sleeper. I'm like a pin drops I wake up. I don't sleep very well. Like, I wake up like every 15-30 minutes. It's pretty awful. And one of the things that has always helped me actually get to sleep and stay asleep a little bit is putting on a content creator. This is why, like, you know, like we talk about like there's this group of like YouTubers that have been around for like a really long time. It's like John Wolf, Gary, who we are very happy enough to know personally now, which is very, very cool. I'm very, very lucky to know that human. Who else was in that group? There's Sinnoh. Obviously, they interact with both Jacksepticeye and what's the name of her channel? Jacksepticeye's partner's channel. What is that named? But yeah, there's like a big group of YouTubers that I watched for like a really, really long time. That like tried to help me like sleep and rest, and like the amount of time that I they have saved me of like restless nights where I can't sleep. Like, that's like, I can never repay them for that, and how much they've helped me just by existing, you know? So if I could even do that, like a smidge for anybody else, like that will always fulfill me really well. If I can only do it for one person, that's worth it to me, because like I understand how much that means. Like, to me, I like to insult myself a lot and be like, I'm just a stupid idiot playing video games and whining too much, right? But like, you know, sometimes that comfort can do like a long, that can go a really long way, and a really, like, even though it's like conceptually really small, and that's good. That's good enough for me. You do? That's good. Don't watch it. Don't watch it while driving. Please remain safe. Please remain safe. Don't watch it while driving. That would definitely be that'd be a little too dangerous. A little too dangerous. Please do not do that. Absolutely can't sleep. It helps so much. Yeah, like it's amazing how much just, I don't know. It's amazing how much just like listening to somebody do something else like helps a lot. And I don't know. Like, I feel like that's one of the best things that can come out of something like this. No, you know, not to say that like I don't care about monetization at all. Of course I do. Everybody does. Everybody who has their stuff monetized cares about the monetization aspect of it. They do. Anybody who tells you they don't are lying, right? But I think my point being is, like, I don't think I would stop. And I don't think people should stop just because monetization is aggressively attacked. In my opinion. In my opinion. Because there's a lot more value you give that isn't just the money, you know? Like, there's a lot more value you give to people that isn't just the money. That, you can't really put you can't really put a dollar sign on. You can't really put a monetary value on the little things you do for others that you don't see. And that's something that we brought up in the Minskull videos, like, you know, and we make fun of weird comments that I get all the time today, right? Like people like scolding me and talking down to me on my YouTube comments all the time. It's like another reason I don't care about a lot of that. It's like for example, like I talked about like John Wolfe earlier. Like I've commented on like maybe 1 or 2 of John Wolfe's videos in my entire lifetime. I've watched him for like 10 years. I don't think I've ever commented on his videos more than like once or twice, and that's it. And he was I consistently still watch that guy. I still watch his YouTube videos. I don't think I ever comment on them. So I know that there are people that watch me that just don't say anything. Like, they don't like the video, they don't comment, they just put it on and go on with their day, right? And I could be somebody's favorite, and they've never said a word to me. So I don't like, we can bring it up and laugh at them, right? Like, we could bring it up and laugh at the bad comments, but I don't really let them get to me, because for every person that takes time out of their day to be rude to me and condescend to me on a YouTube comment, there's somebody else who's never liked or commented my video that I'm like their favorite person. That makes me feel good. So if that's you, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, like what Dex said, it's like some people just don't like doing that. Some people just don't. That's just not them. That's just not what they like to do. That's totally fine. That's totally cool. That's totally good. But yeah, those are the woes of content creation in general. Tie it back to the video. I don't think it'll be the death of DBD, but it definitely does throw a monkey wrench into things. Obviously, Bubba's not actually leaving, so that's not a thing. The general statements he does make about, like, license leaving being a bad thing kind of ties into what we said in a previous video, talking about, like, how, I feel like the longevity in DBD is kind of like almost, it's like ride or die by the licenses almost, in a bad way. Like, the reason you ignore the game being clunky, glitchy, broken, and not so fun in certain terms of balance a lot is because, hey, look, the IPs, hello, look, IPs, come, Resident Evil Chapter 3, let's go, you know, like, but when they run out of that, there's going to be nothing else to look at besides the problems that are very, very evident. And if they start losing licenses on top of not having incredibly exciting IPs on top of it, it's like, that's a double whammy. So while I don't think it would happen anytime soon, I do think that eventually the IPs getting staler and the removal of IPs can kind of like do irreparable damage to the game, because like then we have to address the elephant in the room. We have to look at the bugs and the problems, and because that'll be the only thing that's left. And what you do there, what do you do after that? I don't know. I don't know if the game survives that, but that's a long way away, in my opinion. That's a long way away. Like I said in the last video, they got like FNAF, they got Alien, they got Predator, they got a lot of stuff they could theoretically still go after. That would be huge hits that would definitely give a player spike for at least a month or two before they go back to negative numbers. Like, they still got a lot. They got a lot of gas left in the tank. But I don't think Ardetha is completely incorrect that a lot of their longevity is tied to IPs. So even though the Bubba one didn't end up being true, losing IPs, future IPs, is a scary thing. Obviously, Freddy's IPs owners changed, and so did Hellraiser's. So Nightmare on Elm Street and Hellraiser both had their rights switched. So who knows what deal they have with behavior, and if like those people will honor it. Dead Space, another great example of one that would be good. Yeah, you never know. You never know, you know, who will be leaving the game next, right? I mean, if you Pinhead, they confirmed that Pinhead was getting no new content, period. I don't know if you knew that, but they confirmed that Pinhead, they're not making new cosmetics or anything for him. So it's probably because the rights holder switched. So it's just like scary stuff like that's happening all the time. Scary stuff like that's happening all the time. So you never know who we're going to lose next, and that will do damage. But yeah, I think that's a good place to. Oh, hi. Speaking of Mickey, I don't know why you were there. He was watching the whole time. Oh, brother. He's like, hey. Yeah. Oh God, I just pressed the wrong thing. He's like, hey, buddy, you talking? You talking, brother? I heard you over there. I heard you bring up Disney, huh? Talking. Oh, homie knew.